Every song that anybody ever heard of that they love was only played that way one time.
Right.
That's it.
That's it. I feel like that's evolving. I mean, originally, what was the style that you were thinking of with the song?
The best songs that come through, they just come through me. Like I recognize that there's something happening, and I just get out of the way, you know. And it's really cool when it happens. And it's such a simple song, but it just happened to come almost. The rhythm evolved through playing with it, you know. But initially, it was like. All right, so that can get boring over 3 minutes. So how do you make it interesting, you know?
Right.
And that just came about through playing with it.
But and part of your process, I mean, do you come from the music end or the lyric end?
Either
Or
both. And in this particular case, I had the No More Division, and then that phrase I forgot about after I had stopped touring, and then I finally wrote the song, and I think 2007, maybe, and then put it away for a while and brought it back for the Light Warriors' second album. But yeah, because I never felt like I got I had recorded it once before, and I just didn't get the right. Well, I wanted to hear it again in a different light. At the time that I first recorded it, I enjoyed it, but then I wanted a fuller, bigger, band sound, which I ended up ultimately getting.
Well, one thing you and me have talked about in the past is the flow.
Right.
Can you explain that a little better?
Yeah.
Or what you can explain of it?
Well, that's the question. You know, when do you recognize? Are you present enough and calm enough and at peace enough to be able to recognize when something is coming through you? And I can't speak for any other artist, but I feel like Coltrane, it came through him. A lot. I Love Supreme. So how do you get into that state of mind? I wish I actually could explain it better. I don't know if I can.
The thing is that it is so personal. That's the thing. When it comes to even whether you're songwriting or playing music, or when you really just kind of let it go and just allow yourself to be that conduit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Those things happen without even realizing it sometimes. And then you step back and you're like, holy crap, what was that?
Yeah. And that's
how did that happen?
How did that happen?
Yeah, and where does it come from? I mean, I'd like to believe that there's more to what we see than what we see, you know? And this stuff is so magical when it happens. I mean, a song like The Devil's Angels, which I know we've talked about before, which is the first song, the first Light Warriors song on the first record, that came through. I wrote that whole thing in 30 minutes. I don't even remember writing it. It just happened.
It just happened.
You know? And that was fully formed. I think there was maybe one lyrical edit later on, but I didn't do much. That one was easy. No More Division was fairly easy for the most part. It just kind of happens. I mean, lyrically, I'd like to say that I was inspired by conscious lyrics always. I think Fishbone was the first, and Marvin Gaye's What's Going On.
What's Going On.
Which is, one of the all-time greatest records. I tend to lean more towards the serious pursuit of music. I mean, music is fun, of course.
Yeah.
But it's really fun when you're aiming for some kind of elevation and you have liftoff, and maybe that's what the flow is. It's like you're just playing, and then you play so much and you play enough that you have this feeling overtake you, and the music plays itself.
Yes. Yeah, I've been there on songs on stage. You're playing long and you start the jam section of it, and suddenly you're like, how'd that turn into a 12-minute song?
Right.
But everybody's just having a riot with it.
Yeah. That's when the music plays itself, there's nothing greater. Yeah.
We'll run it again. You want harmonies in there?
Sure.
I'm going to try to find some.
Find some.
No more division. You can go low. You can go lower. No more
division.
No more division. No more division. No more division. Yeah. No more division. No.
I can do that. No more division. No.
1, 2, 3, 4. No more division. Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, guys. Right on.
Well, we better just cut and paste that through it, because that'll be the last one.
Remember it, right?
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. All these whims of misinformation causing divisions. We're on two sides of the same coin, time to look through untainted prisms. Damaging mistakes repeated over thousands of years. Break free the vicious cycle, live a moment without fear. What we want now, no more division. What we want now, no more division. No more division, 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 yeah.
All right.
That's not bad.
Okay. I think there is a level of Appalachian that comes into the theory of songwriting that not enough people lock onto.
Yeah.
Storytelling is an art in and of itself, and in and of its own realm. But when you bring music and composition into that, you're adding layers like an onion, right? So you could be the best storyteller in the world, and even if your chords are simplistic, you're not going to lose a lot of people unless you just suck. You're not gonna lose a lot of people because no one's looking for the eloquence or the elaboration in the chording or in the structure. They're looking for that in what you're saying and how you're delivering it. But then I think you have times too where the scale shifts and it's a simpler story with a simpler message that can allow for some elaboration and some beauty and some glimmer and sparkle in the music. And knowing the difference between the two really kind of puts you on a level of where are you as, in my opinion, as a writer, as a complete songwriter. And, I know there are people who do lyrics, there are people who do music, there are people who split it up. There's Elton and Bernie, whatever, you need to have. And I've had plenty of writes like that myself where I wind up coming with the chordage and somebody else comes up with the lyrics, or then maybe we commiserate or converge or, somehow compromise on something. But I don't know. It's always been a beautiful growth process, but it's got to be about, you've got to pick your muse. Am I satisfying the story or am I satisfying the music? Or am I satisfying both?
Both, yeah.
Yeah. The hope is all.
Do you tend to come from the lyric or the music side of things? I know it's sometimes
it depends really.
On how it.
Yeah, it depends. I mean, I've had songs where I pop up at 2 a.m. and he's like, "Babe, what's wrong?" And I'm like, "I got to get this out of my head. Like, I got to go put this down." And it's probably just me and the keyboard at 2 a.m. because I can keep that quiet enough to not wake anybody else up. But then I've had songs where I was in LA for the thing, and we were at the IHOP, and I was in the women's restroom, and there's always bathroom graffiti. It's pretty awesome. And somebody had carved in the not written, carved in the bathroom door, "I am not yours anymore." And that was 10 years ago. I can see that like it was yesterday, and that made such an impact. And so, it took me 10 years, but a song finally came out. And I feel like there are some lyrics that grab me hard enough that I'll get there. And I'm big on not rushing when I do something.
Right. Do it again, what happens?
Yeah, not too bad.
I'm not the decider of what you are and how it feels to you, and that's the most important thing. Come up with a song. I want it to make me feel things, and then then you don't want to get in your head too much, so you have to have your songs that are like a little more aggressive. You're more outwardly like an Offspring kind of sound. If I were to compare bands as far as like my type of what my influences are and stuff.
Would you consider yourself a guitar player or a vocalist first?
Oh, I would love to just be a vocalist, just to focus. I could totally unleash if I could, but it's because playing guitar kind of takes away from where I want to be emotionally, because there's a mechanical aspect to it, and you want to be lost in it, and you can't always be lost in it when you're trying to pay attention,
Funny how that works.
Well, yeah, that works.
Yeah.
So why haven't you hired a guitar player to back you up?
Oh yeah, that's a good. You know what? That's it.
That's a good question.
That's a good question.
When you put a song together, are you coming up with guitar riffs first and putting words, or you have an idea for something like which is the process of putting those together?
No, for me it's always the riff that comes in first, and then I have fun on that with when you first come up with a riff, it's really nice because like it's exciting or else you wouldn't be trying to make it into a song, and then you get to sing, you get to just blab, you can just like almost like it doesn't matter what you say, and you could talk about your day, you could talk about just whatever's pissing you, anything, and then eventually something like will something will kind of like put its claws into like that's what it is, like it'll just come into being, and then you're like you got that thing, like that song I just came up with this riff recently. It's kind of like a is there now, but I'm sure that's not what I'm gonna keep,
Right.
It's just I'm gonna probably, some things come and they come right away, some things like you want to keep that. The thing is, I love this riff that I'm playing, and so I'm gonna take my time before I land on it, the permanency of what you kind of like stay with and what you think of it is like that's your song, because you can always change it, it's your song,
Yeah.
the riff. You know what's funny? There's like, it's always nice. I like it when like the song ends and there's like this moment, It's like I think we just had that one here and on the other one too, right?
Yes.
What I like about that
It's almost like
song
waking up in some way. I don't know.
is the lead up to the F on that.
Yeah.
Because I have a hard time following. I don't hit the F when you do. I hit it when you do the push up on the
G.
On the G.
Okay.
Which tends to push it early up to the F.
Oh.
But that's what you're doing is throwing it into a suspense chord or something
yeah.
like that.
I don't even know what I'm
It drags
doing.
my quite a little bit.
He
Who cares what you're doing,
what I
as long as
call-
it sounds good, right?
He
sounds
grows
good.
a song. He grows a song. What I will do is nurture, cherish, and sort of grow a song. That's the way it feels when
Yeah.
doing it with you.
I mean, I feel like when you talk about chords and when you talk about, like measures and chords and like, you go into the cerebral realm of what you're doing and the mechanical realm of what you're doing, but there's an element where like, it's like you're on drugs or something and you're connected to something. With music, you're connected to something that is not here, it's not in your head. It's not in measures or chords. It's it's in the room, right?
Well, there's something about music that's unattainable, and it's like you can't grasp it. Any other art form, I put paint on a canvas, and it's there forever, right? And or I write a book, or I make a sculpture, right? I do that, and yes, in that moment I'm making it, but that thing, whatever I created, exists as that thing forever.
Right.
And even though I can write music down, I still have to create it with my voice, my instruments, with something else, and then it's out there. And once it's out there, I hear it, and it's gone. And that's the greatest thing about music, is because it's every time you do it and perform it, it's a new creation each time.
Absolutely. Every song that anybody ever heard of that they love was only played that way one time. That's it.
That's it.
And that's amazing. It's really not about how great a song you write. It's about like being in the right place with the right people at the right time in that magical moment of like having that energy together and like, letting it out, like, because if you're in that place, then you're in the right place, if you're with the people that you can vibe with to play that song together and everybody's on it and like you're feeling it and that's where you're going, then it's something you might have created all together to some degree at least, and so it's like it's a beautiful thing. But like that's my ideal, so that's what I'm shooting for.